You're up. Good evening, everybody. My name is Jeff Spangler, and I'd like to introduce you to our new app, Transsporter. A crowdsourced shipping app for on-your-way delivery. The current problem that we're facing is the fact that shipping companies tell you how much your product will cost to get from A to B based off of size, weight, distances traveling, and the time frame you need there. This hasn't changed since the mid-1800s of stagecoach days. Packaging, extra postage, these are all added expenses that add up over time. Not to mention, it's very time consuming. Going into the store, UPS, FedEx, whatever, waiting in line, or waiting on a delivery driver is a large consumption of your precious resource time. Our solution, the Transsporter app. This will allow you to list your job on our network for a price that you set. There's no haggling, there's no counter offering, there's no bidding. We have a network of drivers who will see your app or see your job listed on our app. They'll be able to look at the details of it, and if it fits within where they're traveling, they'll be able to accept it. And from that point, you'll be able to directly communicate with your delivery driver, or transporter as we call them, directly through in-app texting. You'll get a notification once the app has been accepted as from a transporter and delivery on your mobile device. There's a rating system in place for both you and the transporter. Keep everybody honest. So who would use something like this in our industry? Right now we're targeting some of these listed entities. Imagine a contractor working at a job site. He needs to get tools or material delivered to him, right? Because if not, he has to either pack up or send one of his employees to go and get it. It's a huge consumption of time. And in most of these industries, time is money. So to be able to have your assets delivered directly to you on the job site saves that time. Same goes with all these other industries. The targeted driving market that we're looking at using is the 1.1 million people here in the Hampton Roads that wake up every day and commute to and from work. That average commute is about 22 to 25 minutes each way, so you're looking at approximately an hour every day that you're dedicated to being in your vehicle. Not making any money unless you're fortunate enough to have a job where it pays you to travel. This app allows you to capitalize on that time that you're going to dedicate being in your vehicle every day. Unlike the other apps that are out there that people use to augment their income, Uber and Lyft namely, they take you out of your way most of the time. They're not necessarily going in the direction that you're going. Whereas our app, you're going to know exactly where your package is getting picked up and delivered to, and you'll be able to use it on the way. So some of the ways that you use this app as a transporter are two methods. One is called destination mode, which is not unlike GPS. You simply put in destination where you're intended on going. Within our app, though, we have programmed a way to set deviation off of your route. You only want to go 1 mile off. It'll filter those jobs out and only show you what's in that intended deviation through pickup and delivery on your final destination. The other way to use it is called freelance mode. This is what the home screen looks like after you have an account logged in. You'll be able to click on any one of those jobs and see all the details. If you like it, pick it up, go on about your business. Link multiple jobs together. Basically turn yourself into an Amazon Flex driver for the afternoon. Once you have selected a job, GPS takes over. It navigates you from where you're at to picking it up, to dropping it off, and on to your final destination if you are using it in the destination mode. So the mobile app itself is live. It's available right now on the App Store for download. Once we have user feedback and interpret the demand in this region, we're going to start production on the Android app. The market that we're looking at getting into is the courier, express, and parcel delivery market. And as you can see from this slide, it's seen substantial growth, especially in the last 10 to 15 years. E-commerce is blowing up, and we're talking large sums of money. By 2020 in the US alone, it's projected to be over a $100 billion a year industry. So the earnings for a transporter and the cost to use the app. The only fee that we impose is the minimum fee to use the app, which is $5. Transporters earn a percentage of that. The first 500 that download and use the app and sign up to be drivers are going to start at the 90-10 pay scale. Everyone else after that will start at the 70-30 pay scale and move up through a quota-based system. projected revenue in this area based off of a 1% usage of our targeted driver market, delivering only one package a day, 5 days a week, at the minimum fee, will net the company approximately $1.3 million a year. Well, is there a market for that? Locally, 1.8 million tons moves annually, and that's based off of a 2013 census, so it's grown since then, which translates to over $3 billion a year annually. The express and over-the-counter market, which we look to get into initially, is approximately 1 billion of that. So UPS alone picks up 40,000 packages on average every day here in the Hampton Roads community. That's not stuff coming from outside. That's things getting picked up here in Newport News and going to Virginia Beach. So our direct competition is the only other on-the-way delivery app, and they are the original, Roadie. They were founded in 2015, and they're based out of Atlanta, Georgia. They've successfully just completed 3 rounds of funding for a total of $62 million invested, and you can see some of their large investors. Home Depot was their largest investor on Series C, which closed at $37 million. All of our drivers must pass a criminal background check, have a valid driver's license, and also have proof of insurance. All of our shipments are insured up to $300 for loss, damage, or stolen. We encourage the open package design, which means the driver needs to see what's in the package before it goes into his car. This prevents illicit material being put in somebody's privately owned vehicle. Picking up from a retailer, you don't really have to deal with that. Most of the time, we're talking about private pickup and stuff like that. So the bottom line is shippers can save dramatically on their shipping bill, or local users, and drivers capitalize on the time they're spending in their vehicle driving from point A to B every day. Judges, to you.
So you mentioned Roadie. I've heard of Hot Truck. There's another one called Tommy Run. This is an area people are getting into. So is it that they're just not here yet, or do you have some competitive advantage that you could beat them? Like, question being, if Roadie came here tomorrow and decided to expand in this area, could you beat them, and how?
Middle of last year, Roadie announced in Virginia Pilot that they are now available in this area. And they have started accepting packages. People have started using it in this area. Like anything new, it takes time for the word to get out. They're not putting a lot of effort into their marketing, so not many people have heard of it. What sets us apart from them and every other shipping entity is nobody allows you to set the price. So it's no different than your decision to go to Home Depot or Lowe's. You can buy the exact same product from either one. Use Lyft or Uber. Why do you do which one? Lowest price. We put you in control of that option. So we have the same basic market strategy as they do. So.
I might have missed it. What was your ask?
Our ask? Mm-hmm. We are looking for approximately $500,000 for a percentage of the company to expand our advertising, marketing, and the development of the Android app. So we're already live. We just finished our beta phase. We actually went live with the actual working app last week, and we're already in talks with 2 local stores in the community on the south side to start augmenting their local shipping.
Okay. Who is we?
I have Rob Maniak, my chief technical officer, and we have a chief commercial officer who's heading up our advertising. Most of that all has been social media and online due to budget constraints. And I have a vice president who is the owner of another small business. He does strategy and financial advising.
It seems like it's a first to market advantage. I mean, you just look at Lyft and Uber and Lyft and kind of how they're interacting together. And so my question for you really is, what's the 500? It's 500. You know, really what you need, or is there more? Because this is a rush to awareness, rush to adoption, changing education. There's a lot that needs to go into change the behavior to get the uptake. I think it makes a ton of sense. I mean, I'm a huge Amazon buyer, right? So I get it. What's the I mean, have you necessity and funding needs going beyond the 500 ask?
Once the app will be self-sustaining, our overhead is extremely low, so everything the app generates as revenue is gonna be put back in for that build. It's a self-growing app. The demand, once the word gets out and once marketing takes over, people understand how to save money. It's a very simple app to use, so would you rather use a traditional method or something that you can save potentially 50% on your shipping costs if you're a small business operator? The growth stage is going to come with demand, and basically our only need to grow is either through user feedback to make changes that the customers want within the app, which would be through our programming. That takes money to pay programmers, obviously, so once the revenue generation supports that, we bring more people on board to support that need. And we just rent servers from either Google or Amazon, so that doesn't take up any space besides additional funding monthly for that extra storage need. But to grow it is just a matter of interpreting user feedback, really. Getting the word out is a matter of marketing, and that's just a matter of revenue available to accomplish that. So with that 500,000, we can substantially reach our intended target market here in the Hampton Roads.
If that's true, why did Roads raise $62 million? What do you think they're gonna do with that fund?
They're a privately traded corporation, so you don't really know what they're doing right now, but I have talked to the head of the UPS Strategic Fund who invested in their second round of funding. They helped solve the final mile dilemma for almost every company out there. UPS is no different. That last final mile, delivering that package to rural houses is critical. As so is UPS, or not UPS, Home Depot. I was just in a meeting with them in Atlanta last month where they're very eager to bring on as many people as they can, because every person going through